We got to bring in the professor. We got to find out what the professor wants. What he thinks. Don Hewitt is here. What a day yesterday. First off,
yes.
you hear it on Sunday. You wake up yesterday. Don Hewitt thinks it's going to be about what? Honestly.
Well, here's the cool part of it all.
You didn't wake up.
I barely woke up, that's right. Takes me a while just to put my foot out of the bed. But what I really liked about yesterday's press conference, there were no leaks. No leaks. And you know what? That is sign number one that this commissioner is on the mark, because there's been far too many leaks going on in the CFL for so many years. When they have a media conference, everybody already knows about what it's about. It was on time. It had the bandwidth as well. It was very professionally done. And because there was no leaks at 11 o'clock Saskatchewan time, 1 o'clock Eastern, because there's no leaks, you had more viewers. And because you had more viewers, this CFL, while giving you the information, could put a great video together and sell their product. That's what, non-disclosure agreements do. Because I don't think you can run a league without them anymore, because there's too many people blabbing.
Yesterday at one point I said, I can't believe we didn't hear anything about this Sunday night.
I know.
And now there's a lot of people coming out being like, I caught wind. I knew this. I had this. I had some text messages to my phone, and I was like, I don't think that's true, but whatever. Very, very, very good points, Don. But what did you think? You've covered the league for a long time. You've been around the Riders a long time. This is monumental news. And I'll just tee this up. I didn't think it was about rules because it's mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm wrong there. I still think there's some sort of expansion news coming down for some reason, somehow. What did you think it was going to be?
Oh, I didn't even begin to guess. Honestly, it was so well done in terms of no leaks. I had one rumor that the balls are going to be bright red. I got a text. So, if you want it in a nutshell, Barney, I think the CFL has made these moves, and while they did it, they're still keeping Canadian football and the CFL unique. You've still got a wide field. You've still got a huge end zone compared to the NFL. You've got 12 players, 3 downs. You got your player ratios. You've got the waggle. You've got the yard off the ball. And really, in a lot of strategies outside of the kicking game, and including the kicking game, there's not an enormous amount of change. If you go back to what they have done, in 1974, how old were you in 1974, Barney?
I was 3 years from being born.
Okay, when you were -3.
When I was -3.
You were -3.
I didn't exactly know what it was.
The NFL moved the goalpost back.
1974, that's when they did it, yep.
So, in 51 years, which now you've given away your age, Barney.
I do it all the time. I don't know why people are always so paranoid about that. I'm getting older. Hot tip, everybody
hang around with me, you'll always be the young buck. But anyway, interestingly enough, in 51 years, Barney, the NFL has never changed their mind on moving the goalposts, and for a lot of good reasons. When I heard the commissioner on your show, and I heard him across the country, he explained it very well, thoroughly researched. He is the smartest commissioner so far that I've seen in this league ever. Ever.
There it is.
Because I think he can really get this league going. Now, there's a lot of concern about going further when he wouldn't, say there's no 4th downs coming or 4 downs. I understand there's concern, but right now, if all the people who are against this, if you ask those same people, I believe, in the middle of the 2027 season, the people that are complaining about these rule changes, if you ask them then, they are going to say this is great, I believe. But right now, it's a little raw for a lot of people.
Very well put. We are going to have some practice or some audio from the Riders coming up here momentarily because they were talking about it. as well. At 3:30, Rider legend Scott Schultz is going to join Don and I. We'll get his take. He's always great for a sound bite. I'm sure we'll get more than one today. Hour 2, Arash Madani. Now, he's tied into a lot of different things. I'm curious to know how much Arash knew, and then I'm sure he'll go off and he'll give us his take on it. That'll be good. Also, we're going to sprinkle in a little hockey today, Don, in hour 2, because the Regina Pat Canadians, the national champion Regina Pat Canadians, open up tonight at C6 against the Estevan AAA. I think they're Bruins or Bears. Sorry, Estevan. And I think the Bears.
It'll be packed.
Because Liam Pugh and Maddox Schultz are in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That is, we'll talk to the head coach, Ryan Hodgins, coming up in hour 2.
And Pugh scored, I believe, in Swift Current
with
for the
Pats.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so will he score in his AAA
likely
midget, U18? And then hour 3, Glenn Suter will be in. And also hour 3, the start of it, when you're driving home, most of you, or even if you're out there harvesting, notice a lot of people doing that. Start of hour 3, that's when we're doing Pump Jacks trivia today. 936-6262. You're going to have to call in, and the question, like I teased earlier, will be on football rule changes. Let's shift for a second here, because the Riders are back on the practice field today. Let's go to injury report. They just released it. The one that stands out, there's 2 that stands out for me. And I don't know if this is a misprint. I'm trying to get confirmation from Dave Thomas. It says Philippe Gagnon, arm, full participation.
Big news.
One thing that we do know, let's get confirmation on that first. Tavon Campbell was not practicing today. That hurts. Whatever it is.
Well, we'll see, because quite often the first practice of the week, of course, the Riders keep some players out the first day, so it's hard. You'd have to talk to Dave.
What was the other one? Sam Emelis taking some first team reps. There we go.
That's mammoth. Mammoth, I'd suggest.
Staying with the receivers, Kean Schaefer-Baker, out there but limited. Good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Bertrand Houdon out there as well. Looks like limited for the most part, according to Dave. Joe Robustelli was full. Dre McCray was limited. Nelson Lacombo did not participate. Zach Fry did not participate. Jackson Ford did not participate. So there's some news there going around. Good news for the Riders. But do you have some of that audio already? Colson, which one do you want to go to first?
Whoever. Take your pick.
Let's go to Brett Lawther, Players Association. Right.
Oh, okay.
So Lawther talks about if there was or wasn't a lot of player input.
No, I don't think. Stews has a job. He gets paid for the Board of Governors, and this isn't really something that has to be approved by the players. I think maybe a lot of guys think it would have probably been nice as, 25% of the revenue gross kind of partners there to kind of know a little more, but at the end of the day, they don't have to. They made the decision to make the changes they wanted, and for us, especially as the vice president, we're worried about player safety, growing revenue, and if this does that, there's not much we can really complain about.
Little different than Sean White on social media yesterday. Little more mature. As a guy that's very immature and has done a lot of stupid things, think before you speak thing didn't really hit me, Don, until about 45 years old.
A bit hard on yourself.
No, I'm immature. I'm an absolute jack, you know what. Okay, so that clip seems very... so if you're watching the stream, there's Sean White yesterday. Well, I guess I know when I won't be needed. It was a fun ride. Probably emotional. Yeah. Didn't think it through. Yeah. I know that's that state that he was in. Lawther sounds very calculated, coached, per se. In the media, we've dealt with a lot of people that, when they're kind of been coached. Sat in a room, been like, hey, we're not saying this. Don't say this. The New England Patriots, whatever they did for however many years, they weren't giving you anything. And even from the head coach, like Bill Belichick, He'd be like,
That's the point, yeah. When he did mumble, people listened because they had leaked anything.
If you'd ask him on this, he'd be like, what the league wants to do. What the league wants to do. We're on it. We're playing Edmonton this weekend. That'd be it. Then you could try and poke and prod, but that's all you're getting. Okay, now, so let's hear our starting quarterback, Trevor Harris, on what he thinks about the changes.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit of an overreaction yesterday by some people, but I mean, shoot, it's still 3 downs. There's still 12 people on the field. Field's still 65 yards wide. The end zone's still bigger than 10 yards. It's going 15. It's still Canadian football. There's still going to be onside punts and all the crazy plays, and shoot, I mean, it's the same game. The only thing that changes is really just field goal returns. But the other return game hasn't been affected. You're always going to have kickoff returns. You're still going to have the 5-yard halo returns. So the game has not changed. I mean, it's still the Canadian Football League, and we got 9 Canadian teams in Canadian cities. And so we got smart people at the top that know what they're doing. We're employees. I wouldn't tell an employer how to run their business and what to do. And so I'm just grateful to be in this league and have an opportunity to play in front of these fans and in this country. And so I'm just grateful to be here. And whatever the rules are, we should adjust to them and trying to bend them into your advantage. And so I know there's probably some people upset, but it is what it is. And we have people at the top making decisions, and we have to trust that they know what they're doing. And I'm one of those people that I trust them.
Riders 2 for 2 on sound bites, very coached, and mature.
And by the way, talking to Mark Stephen not too long ago, he said generally the Calgary Stampeder players liked it, or they had no problems with it as well.
Colson was saying that today earlier too, which maybe we can get some of that audio out of the way. So we got Lawther and Harris, positive on it. Can we go? Do we have Coach Mace? Yes. Let's try and make it 3 for 3. Let's see if we can do it. Let me know when you're ready to go, Colson. Here, Coach Mace on number 1. Coach Mace on the thoughts on the rules.
Just having a chance to really go through it. When I was sitting there like everybody, looking to see what it was going to be, and I know a lot of people went into those decisions, and I'm sure they consulted some people that are around the game for a long time. So, doing their analysis of what all the things that they're expecting from it, can only be good for the league. So, for us as coaches, and trying to adapt and conquer of whatever that looks like, but still going to be same team, still going to be CFL ball. And it should be an exciting product. So I'm curious to see it like everybody else, but I'm for it.
3 for 3.
And, here's the good part for Corey Mace and his coaching staff. If this is successful, which I think it will be, you can increase the coach's salary cap, the coach's cap, because I feel CFL coaches are underpaid. They are underpaid. And now let's get this league rolling and get paying our coaches a few more bucks.
Yes, Maz brought that up yesterday. Gets me to think. I don't know a lot of people that I could go, hey, do you feel you're underpaid? They would go, yes. Like, it would probably be 98% of my life, people. But the thing, okay, let's get into this, Don. We've heard 3 clips from the Riders. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get to some text messages. Let's say it's 2027. We found a time machine. We're zipping up to 2027. Mm-hmm. I'd love to go backwards. If it was me, take me to 1986. Premiere of Rocky 3. But we're going to 2020. You're gonna be okay, Colson? We're going to 2027. Okay? Right. And you look at the changes. Colson, can you put up that graphic that you made? You look at the CFL, and people are going NFL Light, NFL Canada, this and that. So many people gave up their tickets yesterday. I didn't go to Marketplace to see if they're all on there, but it was the amount of text. Okay, so now the American game, NFL football, on one side, let's say, and the Canadian game on the other, if you're driving at home. What are the same rules or field dimensions or whatever? The field will both be 100 yards in 2027. not the end zones, just length of the field. The goalposts will both be at the back of the end zone. Those are 2 similarities. The game is technically called football. I guess you could grasp for 3, and some places they tailgate. I can't. What else am I missing? What is going to be the same as the NFL? 936-6262. Prairie Land Rentals text line. There's no waggle. There's 12 men on the field. The field is wider. There's 3 downs. The clock is different. Yard off the ball is different. Hash marks are because it's so wide.
Well,
there's 2 things that will be the same. I think if we had time to pull up Australian rules football or rugby, we could probably find 2 similarities. There will be 2 things.
That's a good point.
That are the same. I need people to let me. How is this the same as the NFL or NFL Light or whatever? I'm asking an honest question. And the commissioner, part of me, what do you think? Do you think there is any way they walk any of this back?
I think it was so well thought out. I mean, there'll be some issues that they'll have to go to the rules committee and figure out for sure. We did lose not 100% field goal returns for touchdowns, but there'll be a lot fewer of them. It'd have to be a short field goal. So that's the one negative you could argue, but I think there's just way more positives to this, way more positives. And change is hard. Even good change is hard. And a lot of people have a hard time, with any change. And particularly, I mean, there's a lot of people that, aren't feeling so great about the United States with the tariffs, for example. So anything American, for some, not all, for some, anything American, it's touchy. It's very touchy right now. In our society and in Canada, so anything American, it's like elbows up by Canadian.
There is this proportion that bought into that charade. Yeah,
I mean, to me, it's sort of like, okay, the commissioner runs a national league, and what is going to be an interesting issue going forward, I think, Barney, is he's got 7 private owners, 2 public owners, and you take a look, say, at what the private owners want and what, the 2 public teams may want. At some point down the road, they may differ. And there's nothing maybe that can be done about that. That might be just how eventually it plays out. But, we have a guy that bought the Edmonton Elks about a year ago. Yep. Was it August? Somewhere. Yeah. Oh, it's just about a year ago. And
he almost drove over a bunch of people on the sideline.
Right. So how does he feel? Because right now he's lost his shirt with the Elks. They haven't, they're just recently playing better, but they've had some better crowds, but Larry's still lost lots of money owning the Elks. So I think we forget about those business perspectives in Manitoba and Saskatchewan where we have public teams. These guys didn't buy these clubs just because they didn't want their franchises to appreciate it all. They just wanted to lose money. So I don't think we in Saskatchewan totally understand the dynamics of the Board of Governor table.
That brings up a text message that I just saw from Doug in Chilliwack. He's saying, Trevor Harris, typical corporate, we are just employees. Well, Harris, we the fans are your employer on this team. We pay the money for your tickets, television sponsors, the fans who should be the only ones that matter, should be listened to, and for the commissioner, get used to it. Get used to the fans and sponsor walking you out the door of your job. There would be a ton of people on that side that the fans, they think that they have the power. I think on that, only time will tell. Are you not showing up? For one game, for games, for seasons, okay, that time will tell.
Well, You take a look at, say, the Rough Rider team and their attendance. Of course, it's rebounded this year. 2 great sellouts. They couldn't get a good crowd with that weather against Montreal, but the attendance is up after a couple of losing seasons where, people were upset. They lost some season ticket holders, and last year the attendance wasn't as you had hoped. This year it's rebounding. And that's what will happen for anybody that's upset right now. When they start seeing, like, for example, the 35-second clock next year, they'll realize how much better it is. We don't have to watch a CFL referee stand there forever before he blows the ball in, which is so boring. I think the commissioner announced the field goal drive that Hamilton had against Edmonton took 11 minutes. I mean, there's so many things that improve, and I think what's going to happen is people have to see it. They haven't seen it yet, and they won't see it till next year.
Yeah, very emotional still, both sides. And we're seeing it. People are coming in on the text line. Do you have something, Colson, for the break?
I was just going to hop in quick and say, the Riders are up 2.6% so far for attendance this year compared to last year, and the league-wide is up 1%. Toronto's actually up 0.4%, which I'm surprised they're going up.
0.4?
Well,
yeah, 0.4. Sure. Hey, it's an up.
Toronto's a buzzsaw, and they're just packing it in there.
But the whole thing is, though, I mean, the league, you talk about 0.4, the league needs, they needed some change to get some more interest, particularly among young people. The young people are here in Saskatchewan, but in other markets they're not. I
could go for 3 hours on that. I don't think we're getting the young people with any changes, with anything that we're doing. But Savannah Banana Baseball is the biggest thing for young kids right now. That's a whole other topic. Let's get Scott Schultz is waiting. Let's go to break and then